Hello. Oh, there we go. Hello, and welcome to Three Things. Our guest is the second ever girl to appear on Three Things. She wrote a guest post for us about random dudes hitting her up on the Twitters. It was a great blog, but it would have been even better if she wasn't so nice and had names. She's the daughter of Brock Lesnar or Duke Nukem, depending on how old you are. As a teacher and a diehard Sox fan, she gives us unlimited hope for the future. And speaking of kids, I'd let her babysit mine anytime. Welcome to the show, Alexis Atwater.
Oh, thank you. That was unlike unprotected socks. I will accept all compliments and I will retweet them all. So thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
So I can't believe how willingly you were gonna babysit my Sock Summers children. Have you met his children before?
I was honestly planning to slide into this at some point. Let me know when you want me to babysit your kids. And I didn't even have to. You did it for me. Oh, they're so cute. My mom even knows how much I love your kids. I'll bring them, whenever you post pictures, I'm like, Mom, look. They're so cute. I love them so much.
So, hey, not to derail you from talking great things about my kids, but that blog, the best part of the blog, because I reread it today, was in the DMs is watching a guy go, oh, hey, what's up? And you not responding. And then again, oh, hey, I just wanted to do this. And then you're like, and then it's like, oh, fine, you must be too good for me. And it's like he already fought himself 3 times in the DM. And it's like, I don't, it reminds me, and maybe you've seen the movie and maybe you haven't, but the movie Swingers, when Mikey continually calls his girl he has just met on the night of, right? This guy is looking for a girlfriend. Alexis, you should watch this movie. This guy is looking for a girlfriend. He finds this girl. Finally, this girl gets his number. He's all excited. He gets home. He calls her, and he leaves a message on her answering machine. And then, he's like, oh, that's not good enough. So he got to call her again. And then he keeps calling back and leaving more and more messages. And then at the end, she's just like, never call me again. You know, and it's very similar to the DM. And it was also drooly face emojis. Associated with a lot of comments in the DMs. So we'll link that in with the video so people can go check out that blog. It was fabulous. Have you had any of that great luck during quarantine?
Actually, it's so funny that you mentioned that because I just posted, okay, this is not going to be a thing where I brag about myself, but I just lost 20 pounds since Sox Fest. And I posted about it on Twitter 2 days ago. And I had an influx. I was like, great. I was like, I did not think this was going to happen. I was like, I just wanted to tweet something exciting because nothing exciting has been happening. So I tweeted about it. And I'm not going to name names, but there was this one guy that was trying a little too hard. And I had to hit him with he was like, hey, cute picture that you posted. I was like, I have a boyfriend.
Nice.
Yes.
He's probably going to watch this and then he's going to reach back out to me. Oh wait, another thing that happened similarly, one of the guys that had sent me a message that was featured in the blog post and then blocked me after he found out that I posted about it. It was in the blog post, unblocked me recently and sent me another DM.
Oh, yes, I learned.
Love it.
I was like,
that's why you name names.
It's all Wally.
Names and then they don't come back.
Yeah, tell Wally not to DM you anymore. God damn it. What's wrong with him?
And listen, if they ever saw a picture of your father, they would not fuck with you whatsoever.
I try to slide him in there sometimes. Just throw them out on Twitter sometimes and hope that people see them and be like, ooh.
And speaking of your dad, how is your dad?
Bill's good. My dad's great.
Good.
He has been working still. He has a little bit of a different schedule. He works only 2 12 hours shifts a week. But we still see him. He comes over and social distance hangs out with us. So bring us breakfast or bring us iced coffee or whatever and sit in our driveway. And we'll hang out on chairs. It's really kind of weird, but we try. But yeah, he's good. I told him about this and he was very typically dad excited. He was like, nice. And I was like, yeah. You're gonna watch it? He's like, sure. And I was like, cool.
The man has lived life. From everything we can see, and the pictures that he has broken out on the Twitter has been those are just great. And he definitely was the cool kid that we all looked up to when we were younger. And I know we're old and we're from a different generation than you, but yeah, your dad was fucking cool. So from uncool guys to a cool kid, he was good. So I
love him to death.
I want to that's the first part of the three things.
Mm-hmm.
The second part of three things is you bringing a question to the group. So what would you have for us?
Okay, so I thought of this question. I was gonna do two, but I saw that you guys kind of didn't want people to do.
You can do whatever you want.
Okay, so I have two. I have a rapid fire question, and then I have like a normal question.
Okay. That works good.
My rapid fire question is based on, I said earlier with you guys before we got on to recording that I've been watching Lucas Giolito stream a lot because he's been playing like MLB The Show and stuff. And I asked him what his favorite cereal was, and he answered. So I am now asking you guys what your favorite cereal is. That's my rapid fire question. So you guys can start.
I'll go first. I haven't eaten cereal in 15 years. I don't ever eat cereal. But for me, the best fucking cereal there ever was, and I don't even know if it exists anymore, O's. You guys remember O's?
O's.
That's a quality cereal, kid.
Like the Honey Graham ones?
They're like, they had like the crackly stuff in the
middle. They still make those. That's my favorite cereal. I have 2 boxes in the pantry.
Yes.
Teresi.
See, I think Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the easy answer. It's easy, like no hitting Matt Berkland and MLB The Show. That's like how easy it is. So I'm gonna go with what I buy currently, which is Honey Bunches of Oats. I buy that. That's my favorite one. I know it's probably not an exciting one, but that's I go to that every time.
I would have bet dollars to donuts that you were going to go Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisp is up there. But like, as an adult, I think it's just too much sugar for me to handle. Like I would, if I ate Cookie Crisp with the amount of coffee I drink, I would just like rip my laptop in half and not be able to work.
Oh my goodness.
So my original or my answer is the same as Teresi's. It's the Honey Bunches of Oats. That is the shit. But originally, the first cereal that I know that I really, really, really liked, it was called Just Right, which was like kind of like a weird cousin of the Honey Bunches of Oats. It had like the almonds in it. It had the dates. It had like a lot of these weird things. So much so that we had bought so many boxes that my father bought a case of it. But he bought a case of the wrong stuff, not the actual stuff that I liked. It was a whole case of all the stuff I didn't like that was in there, right? So there was one with fruit and nuts, and there was one without. He brought the one without, and then goes, just put your own fruit and nuts in it, and it's the same fucking thing. And I remember having to eat through an entire fucking case of this Just Right cereal that I did not like, but I did it because he fucking was like, you better fucking eat the goddamn cereal.
I bought you this case of gravel. Please enjoy it.
No.
Well, it was. I mean, it was exactly the same fucking cereal, except for all the stuff that made it good.
Except for all the good shit. I was gonna say he eliminated all the good shit. Here, take all the regular shit no one likes, and then I'm no good shit in there.
It's just funny to me that that's like what I remember. Like I remember that. I just remember. Oh, Just Right cereal, wrong fucking one. Dad bought a case. Because we had this store that when the trains would crash or the trains would fall off the train, they would sell all of this stuff. Yeah, I know. It sounds illegal. It wasn't. It's like salvage buys and stuff. Like people go and buy stuff like from a wreck or something.
Oh, like stuff that falls off the truck and it's just the box that's damaged.
Yeah, so if a semi gets in an accident and there's like fucking a ton of like shit like all over the road, like they can't pick that up and sell it as new. Somebody comes and buys it or whatever and salvages it and then sells it. So that's
my Sock Summer. I would not talk any more about your dad's fencing operation until the statute of limitations is over. Okay, please.
Listen,
Teresa, you might have to edit that piece out right
I'm
there.
leaving it in. Keep I'm leaving it in. Lawrence going to prison.
What else do you got for us, Alexis?
Am I supposed to answer it?
I bought your cereal.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Okay, I was like, that's what I was looking for about. Because everyone else answered it, but then I did. Okay, so mine is also Honey O's or whatever you call them, O's. But I didn't think anyone was gonna know that, so I defaulted to Reese's Puffs, which are a solid cereal. And it's funny that I like them because I'm not a huge peanut butter fan, which is kind of like a hot take, I guess. But yeah, I love Reese's Puffs, and I've been pounding those down like no other during this quarantine.
So eating the shit out of Reese's Puffs, breakfast cereal, and also losing 20 pounds. I don't know how this happens, but hey, whatever's clever.
I've been snacking less.
That's good too. Yeah. Okay, what's your next one?
Okay, so this is my like big question. So I came up with this because when you guys asked me to do this, my mom and I were grilling for dinner, and we were making hot dogs along with other things. And my question is, who would you most like to see go 1v1 against Burly Cat, aka Matt, in like a traditional hot dog eating competition? Like I'm talking like pounding how many you can in a minute.
Ooh.
And can I go first for this one?
Yes,
absolutely.
I want to give you guys time to like really marinate. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the Twitter legend himself, who doesn't really like Twitter, my dad, Bill. And the reason is because Bill actually, my dad, won a hot dog eating contest at our local fair not that long ago, like maybe 6 years ago. And it was kind of a wild time. I have pictures. Maybe I'll post them on Twitter. He might get mad at me, but I don't really care. So he won a hot dog eating contest. And then when I came back from spring training, because I was there the week like when they canceled baseball and like this entire state shut down. I was in Arizona. And when I came back, he picked me up from the airport, and I was just like talking to him about how, like, I told him about Matt, hi Matt, by the way. I like you a lot. I love your Twitter. Love your wife and kid, by the way. I don't want him to think I hate him. I don't want him to think I want to see him beat. Like, that's not the thing here. But I was talking with my dad, and I was like, hey, like, yeah, like, there's this guy, and he, like, eats X amount of hot dogs at every, like, Wednesday Dollar Dog Night. And he was, like, calculating in his head. He was starting to think, I was like, Dad, I think you could do it. I think you could beat him, like, out of all, like, if you went to every Wednesday, I think you could do it. And he was, like, calculating in his head, and he was, like, doing all this math, and I was like, I don't know, man. Just saying. So it was, like, a whole car conversation for, like, the hour that it takes to get to from the airport to my house. So that was a whole thing, and that's kind of where my question came from, so.
Okay.
I will go next.
Yay.
And I know I'm almost positive this guy can win. So, and he's a Sox Twitter guy too, but you probably don't know him. He hasn't been as active as in recent years. But Ike Johnson on Twitter, his real name's Colin. He actually holds the record for hot dogs eaten in the 108 in a single game at 18. I've also in Beef, me and Beef may have paid for him to do this, but we watched this guy chug a fucking jar of pickle juice. He's an absolute animal when he wants to be. And I think like if we were able to get them one-on-one, I mean, he beat Sierra Santos in a hot dog eating competition.
Yep.
I think he could go toe-to-toe with Burly Cat. Like I think he could go toe-to-toe with him. I don't know who would win. And I don't know also season long if they both went to all the Wednesday games who would win. I think Matt would win out. I think he's just got the stamina to keep doing it. But in a short spurt, I think Colin could give him a run for his money.
I think Matt already thinks I hate him because I supported his wife in the 108 tournament. So
no, he doesn't think that.
It's fine.
Well, what do you think?
We'll ask him. Oh, I'll go next. Yeah. So I don't think this guy could actually beat Burly Cat in the hot dog eating contest. I'll be honest with you. I don't think there's anyone in Sox Twitter right now that over a full season could beat Burly Cat. He's
like
an animal.
Like a minute long kind of thing.
Well, the minute long thing, yeah. I mean, obviously anyone could. I'm talking about like the full season competition. Okay. Nobody's beating Burly Cat. But if we're going like sort of a shorter duration, I think I would choose this guy just for the comedy. I don't think he probably beats Burly Cat anyway in this thing, but just to watch like the pain on his face and all the goofy shit he'd do, But I would love to see White Sox Dave challenge Burley Cat in a hot dog eating competition because everything would go wrong. Like the bun would be end up in his hair, and there would be mustard everywhere, and it would just be a comedy of errors. Like that's if we're gonna do this, I want to see. I'm not about the competition. I'm about the competition outside the competition. I want to see a little fun, and so that would be my guy.
I like it. I feel like he would eat to a reversal of fortune. Like he would definitely.
He's competitive. Yeah, he's competitive. I agree.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm going to go with somebody that I think that could have a chance against him for the full season because he's proven he can hang. He's good. He was I think 2 games short of like the entire thing last time, and that's NWIC. I think that he can hang with them and actually like see what happens. I'm gonna 100% bet on Matt because I feel like Matt is gonna be like those guys. When you kind of tweak him a little bit and you're like, I'm going to come get you, then he's going to like, you know what, fuck you. I'm going to show you why I am the king. Like, and I feel that's why he did the 108 dogs not too long ago, just to show some people, hey, I can do this. You can't do this. And that's, he was flexing. He was flexing it.
He was flexing, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Don't forget the last hot dog, the Dollar Dog Wednesday, Matt barely ate any. He just wanted to get 49.
Yeah.
Because he's a 49ers fan. Like that
he was
was
just hanging out, showboating, man. He knew he had it, and it was like at Usain Bolt at the end of a race when he coasts at the end because he knows he killed everybody. That's what he was doing in that last game.
Oh yeah, no, he was. I don't think that you could poke him and expect him not to come back like kind of like twice as hard on you. I think he's definitely. Yeah, I would be afraid for your dad though, Alexis. I don't know if I want Bill doing that. To like, he's an older gentleman. We don't want him like ingesting all that sodium in that quick of a time period. I don't know.
I honestly, I just think it was just funny to see him like, because at first I was like talking about it with him in the car, and he was just kind of like, you know, shrugging his shoulders, and all of a sudden he was like doing this math, and I'm like, I was like, I think he's in, and then he was like, you know, I could take the shift where I don't have to work on Wednesday nights, and I was like, Bill's ready. I was like, let's freaking go. I was like, I need to like get the ticket package where I get all the Wednesday nights. Which can we talk about the fact that my first year as any partial season ticket holder is this year?
Yeah, you've gotten kind of screwed.
I know.
You decided that you finally are going to drive around and go see different parks and go visit things and do things. And then it has the good Lord has said, no, you cannot do that. You need to stay in your house and wear masks when you need to go out in public.
Right, exactly. Because I like just moved home from school because I was at like undergrad at out of state for 4 years. So I was like, I moved home and then I got a big girl job and I was like, yay, I can like, you know, do this. Got a solo ticket, which I've been advocating for a lot of people on Twitter because I've seen a bunch of people who are like, I need a friend, like, you know, to go with. And I'm like, get one for yourself. I was like, you can do this. I was like, yeah. I did it. But I don't know. So yeah, it's like my year ever with this. And now I'm just sad. And I got a call from my ticket rep not that long ago who was like, well, if you put a deposit down for 2021, and I'm like, it's 2029. I need to see the baseball.
I haven't gone to a game yet. You want more money? What the fuck?
Right, exactly.
Let me ask you about that conversation because this is something that has intrigued me. And this is not your question, but I'm going to cut one of the two out. Well, you got the phone call from this guy, and he said, "Hey, do you want to put a deposit down for season tickets in 2021?" Mm-hmm. Was he talking about the refund of your 2020 money, or was he just trying to get new business?
So he left a voicemail. Because I was asleep because my sleep schedule is all effed up right now. And yeah, so, but I definitely think it was business because, and again, I'm not trashing on him because obviously I don't know.
Oh, that's fine. No.
But like he called and he was like, he left a voicemail. He's like, yeah, so just so you know, like we're just still like waiting to hear about 2020, but also just so you know, like if you put a deposit down now, you'll get the experience to like go on the field like during batting practice and like interact with players. And also, if you want to have like a group package for 2021, like you'll get X amount of dollars off or whatever. And I was like, I haven't seen a baseball game yet this year. Like you cannot ask me about next year because I am depressed. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I didn't call him back. Although, to be honest, I genuinely thought when he like tempted me with that on-field batting practice experience, I was like, but then I was like, no. This was also this was like the week COVID happened too. So like I was like,
okay.
It was like right after I had gotten back from spring training, and I was like, baseball's coming back, right? And now I'm still like,
yeah. Okay. Well, that makes a little more sense. It wasn't. See, somebody had posted on Twitter that he had gotten a call from the rep like a day ago or 3 days ago, and they're asking for deposits for 2021. I was like, that seems like bad form. But even before this whole
thing, it's just I just feel like bad taste, you know.
I don't know, and I just it just seemed odd. I mean, I don't ever doubt a lot of those things, but just to hear it. You're just like, let's see what happens.
If they have a job too, like I totally get it because like I mean I don't have a job right now because I'm like a substitute teacher and I'm in school, like, whatever. But like, come on, man, you know.
Yep.
I don't know.
Alexis, we did that on-field batting practice. I got to let you know, and we got to do it with the wonderful people at Goose. And you got to be careful when you do it because I was playing shortstop, and my sock summer hit a fucking line drive at me, tried to kill me.
That's awesome.
It was really hard hit, and it started like doing all this, and I had a glove, and I thought, you know what, this glove's not big enough to protect me from breaking my face on this line drive.
I got a hold of like 3 balls, and that was one of them. So that's about all I really got, you know.
And the way he worded it, I wasn't sure if it was like he really worded it weird. I wasn't sure if it was an on-field batting practice experience where I get to swing a bat or where I am experiencing it with like the players and I'm watching them and I get to talk to them.
It's actually the latter, and I think it's you like I think you're in like a corral area corral area, and you just kind of watch them go up, and I think sometimes they interact. Yes, I think that's what it is because you can't watch home batting practice at Sox Park, so I think that's what it is. They bring you in, and so then you can watch it. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Now, I had some other questions, or had another question, but I'm going to go with the banger. And we can all answer this question. It's not gender specific whatsoever. The best and the worst parts about Sox Twitter, and however you want to take that, and we can just go with it however we want to. And I know we're a half hour in, so
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. It's not your fault.
Okay.
We're not a half hour in.
You're the last one, so don't worry about it.
My Sox summer, we're like 10 minutes in. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh.
We got a lot of time to go. Fill it up.
That's true. Alexis, best part of White Sox Twitter.
Okay. So the best part of White Sox Twitter, in my opinion, is like all of the people that this is so cheesy. All of the people that I've met on White Sox Twitter, because I don't have any friends in real life that are White Sox fans. And in general, I don't really have a lot of friends in real life that are baseball fans, actually. So just like meeting people who like have the same interests as me. And to be honest, again, cheesy, and I promise I'm not like trying to like get these extra brownie points, but like you guys, like these kind of like fun uncles or whatever, are just like super awesome. And I'm remembering specifically, I heard Wally talk about this on his segment about how he went to White Castle, which he talked about this being this horrible idea, which it was. Is a horrible idea. It was terrible. That made me more hungover than the alcohol did that night. Terrible.
Allegedly.
Yeah. But anyway, he just is so funny. He was like, Alexis, just so you know, like we always have your back. It was the cutest thing ever when drunk Wally's my favorite. And he was like, but he's also, I think, terrified of my dad because he was like, just tell your dad that we have your back, like just so. And then I'd say something. He's like, he was like, oh yeah, like don't worry, like we've got you, like we would never let anything bad happen to you. Make sure you tell your dad that. I was like, okay. I was like, drunk Wally, I'll let him know. So
Wally's preemptively avoiding an ass whipping if Alexis's dad is there and he mouths off and says some shit. That's all he's trying to do right there. He's trying to build some goodwill for when he's really drunk and he says some shit and gets overheard, and then he'll get his ass whipped.
And okay, so the worst part of White Sox Twitter, I mean, I could say my creepy DMs, but they've slowed down since I wrote that article.
That's a bummer.
Called. So you know what? I'm gonna say White Sox fans are really negative. And I know that that's like such a cop-out answer, and I think I could probably come up with something better if I was given like a week to think about this. But I definitely think it's like the negativity, because I'm a pretty positive fan, which is kind of funny considering when I watch football or hockey, like I am so angry all the time. When I watch baseball, I'm really chill, which is, again, funny because it's my favorite sport and it's like the one that I'm the most dedicated to. But yeah, I have a really hard time with all the White Sox fans being like really negative and, you know, trashing on everything they do and everything about it. And also, I hate other baseball fans that trash on the White Sox, and I hate when they talk about their attendance, and I hate when they talk about everything. And we have the best food also, so like you can just go and F off right now. So like that's all I'm gonna say. That's the worst part about White Sox Twitter is just like the negativity. I guess that's what I have for now. Yeah.
No, that's good.
Do you want me to go?
Chorizo.
All right, I'll go. So the best thing about White Sox Twitter is just its fucking existence. I look around at other teams, and with the exception of a few, so like Braves have a good a Twitter crew. Mm-hmm. The Mets have a really good Twitter following, and they get a lot of good shit. They have some good players that get in there. Not to mention fucking Mr. Met, but like it's a good mix. But there's not a lot of those, and I think that's cool that there's an online community of fucking maniacs that are so into the Sox that we could talk about it all year long. Even when there's not baseball, even when there should be baseball and there's not baseball, we're still talking baseball. And I think that's probably, like, to me, the best part. That's the pure community of it, the existence of that community. The worst part about it, to me, is nothing to do with the White Sox. It is that I have to follow all these people so that I could see all their White Sox stuff, but then I also see all of their political stuff. It's a fucking nightmare, because that I could talk to rationally about White Sox things and go like, hey, you know, if you think about it from this angle, it's a little bit different. When it comes to politics, these motherfuckers don't give an inch. It's like I'm over here or over here and fuck everything else, and I will burn the earth to the ground for my beliefs. And it's weird, and I don't want much part of any of it. So that's the part to me where I'm just like, I like, you start seeing it come down your timeline. It's just creeping down your timeline. You're like, I don't want. I'm just gonna go right past this one.
37 retweets of all the same type of things. You're like,
I got my bachelor's degree in political science, and so like, and I took a little bit of a baseball break in college for reasons unrelated. But so like, I only followed political accounts for a while. So like, when I got into White Sox Twitter, I unfollowed all of my political stuff, and now I just follow baseball stuff. So when I see political stuff, like, I'll like things sometimes, but I do not tweet about politics anymore. It's just really depressing. So I just kind of stay out of it.
Yeah,
it's toxic, is what it is. Really.
Political, it is toxic.
Fucking rough. And what's funny is because the Sox fans, they're on all sides of it.
It's weird.
But like, when you follow a lot of White Sox fans, you get all different things coming from every single direction.
Yep.
It's a rough ride.
It's the spreads and Contra. Loafer.
For me, I think Alexis and Treasy, they sort of got into it, but I'm going to get a little more specific on the best thing of Sox Twitter. The best thing at Sox Twitter, and it probably narrows down the group a little bit, but this group's getting a little wider, is the group of people that can openly break each other's balls on Sox Twitter and just have fun with it. And like we were talking before we went live, Alexis was having a good laugh at my background here and about how many different ways Zach recut it and Sox Barber and a bunch of other people. And like the fact that we can go and kind of do that and interact with each other that way, it gives more of the community feel. It gives more of the we're in the ballpark and someone says something and then you give them a little bit of shit because, you know, they said something insane or whatever. But it's all in good nature. There's no, you know, there's nothing aggressive about it. It's just kind of having fun with it. And Juan Uribe's Cup is another guy. And like, obviously all of us, I mean, like my Sox Summer, you're like, oh, everyone's busting my nuts too much. But I mean, but you're a great guy. And that's why people feel like, oh man, I can give this guy a little jab because he's awesome, you know? And so I think the fact that that exists out there is just so good and so healthy for our group. Like, especially with us. I mean, like we have a sort of a big blog, and there are other big blogs on Sox Twitter, but you can't do to them what you do to us.
Right.
Like you can't come in and kind of do that stuff to those folks.
And be like, fuck you, Sasha.
Yeah, right. You can't do that to any of them, right? So like it's the community feel of that's kind of a smaller group. And I won't say that to everyone. Like we bust Josh Nelson's nuts very frequently. So I'm not gonna single all the other big blogs out. Some of the people on there we give them some shit and people give them a little shit. But I really like that aspect. That's the part that's most fun for me. Like when I do something really dumb, I look forward to how I'm going to get dunked on Twitter. Like that's really fun for me. And I kind of enjoy that aspect.
It's funny.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You go before I go on.
Yeah,
you go.
No, I was going to say it's funny that you brought up Nelson because Nelson likes to play. So that's why, I mean, he was the first one in with us. On doing these events and doing this kind of shit. So is straight laced and whatever as Nosh seems, he is not that straight laced. He is just a crazy fucker too. He just doesn't let that shit out the cage all the time. So he's fine.
Yeah, he's one guy hosting the podcast. He's an entirely different guy, like out with the group having drinks or even just shitting around on Twitter. You know that's a different thing. The negative part is the thing I like least about Sox Twitter is I see a lot of groups forming, and I don't mean like social groups. I mean like stats only group versus no, we don't like advanced stats group, and it goes both ways. I see the people that don't like advanced stats or they don't even want to try to understand, and then I see certain groups of people who claim to like the advanced stats, and they don't kind of do the work to really understand them and understand the take of the other side. Like, you know, there are the people that are really sharp and good about this shit, you know, like very good with the advanced stats, like the Pinolses and the Jordan Lazowskis. They're really fucking good about hearing both sides and listening and absorbing and discussing the thing sort of right in there so you can really get it. But not everyone is. So I wish people would work a little harder. If you see yourself on one side, think about how the other type of fan is thinking and try to meet them in that common ground. Like Treasy was talking about with the politics. You know, let's not be that. Let's meld this shit together. Okay, maybe you lean a little bit more towards the like eye test stuff or whatever. It's okay to learn a little bit about the stats. And the same thing with the people who maybe don't want to watch all the games, but they want to look at the stat sheet. It's okay to listen to the people who are watching all the games and observing some shit that you might not have noticed. You know, I've guys before. I stay up on all the stats and I'm knowledgeable with all that stuff. But the most interesting shit that I ever hear or get blog ideas from are other people who go to a lot of games and watch, because they're usually picking up something that no one is talking about in the public sphere, and you're like, oh shit, that might be an angle right there. So there's always like ways to learn a little bit more. So don't close your avenue. Make sure you're wide open and kind of like absorb everything that's out there, even if it seems fucking crazy.
Take it all in. So I would just say the best part about Sox Twitter is the inclusion and the easily accessibility of most of the stars of Sox Twitter. And I mean, you're going to run into at any given tailgate pretty much everybody that you follow on a Twitter, like the big guys on a Twitter. White Sox Dave is going to be arm in arm with us as like NWI Steve and Chris Lanuti from Sox in the Basement. Mm-hmm. I mean, everyone's real friendly, and it's been, that's how it's kind of always been so far. I thought 2020 was going to be a bad year, so it's probably a good thing that it's not happening. But yeah, so I like that everyone is kind of with each other. It gets, got each other's back. Probably the worst part about Sox Twitter, and you nailed it on the negativity. It's just the constant need to tear down something and not see anything positive in that actual move or whatever. I know that there's a lot of the guys that we've been in chats with and whatnot that will, if something comes out, it's like, well, it's still not good enough, and it's a movement of a goalpost. If the Sox meet an expectation or do something or sign a big name free agent or do this, like signing Yasmani Grandal, people are like, well, but, he's a catcher. We got an all-star catcher. But you've been pining for them to sign a big name guy for this long, and they finally do it, and then you're like, oh, it's not good enough. And it just takes me right back to my dad force-feeding me all these fucking bags of cereal that are totally wrong, that I didn't want. It brings me right to that moment. It makes me feel upset. So, anyway, hey, Alexis, thank you very much for coming on tonight. So, Bill, we will miss him. We will see him soon. When it is
safe, you're the one who met him.
I know. When it is safe to eat,
everyone likes him more than me.
No, that's not true.
It's okay.
That's not true. That is not true.
We like you too. But the relationship with you is we're more protective of you. We want to get drunk with your dad. Okay. We also want to keep you away from Wally. Okay. So that's another thing.
We happy hour Zoom with Bill. Bill Zooms with his friends. I was FaceTiming him the other day, and he all of a sudden was like, I gotta go. I have Zoom happy hour. I'm like, oh my God. Friends.
Dude, we could do a whole show of the coolest things that Bill did in the early 90s. Like, we could have a whole night just dedicated.
He had a mullet.
That
he
kind
was going to name me after a race car driver. Thank God my mom stepped in.
See? This is just insanity. Well, thank you very much for coming on Three Things.
You're so welcome.
Hopefully we'll see you soon. And as soon as it's legal, we are getting drunk together again soon.
I know. We haven't gotten drunk together. I barely saw you guys at the Sox after party because you had, like, normal people to talk to. Like, all of them. There were so many people there.
We were performing.
Yes. So well. Thanks, Alexis. Have a great night.
Welcome.
Thanks, Alexis.
Bye.
Bye.